Hello and welcome to another episode of my show through a trauma-informed lens, Soma, Psyche and Soul. I'm Aneta Itchak and I want to warmly welcome you here. It is at the time of recording the show episode, beginning of September 2025. I am coming back from my summer break, and this time I allowed myself to really slow down, properly slow down. I didn't go on holiday. I didn't go away because of various things that were happening in my life, within our family's life. I stayed at home, and for the first time ever, I fully allowed myself to take a step back, to switch off, to really give myself space to wander, to dream, to reflect. I did a lot of long walks with our dog Oscar on the beach and in the forest when it was really hot, and in the local park. And I went out to meet some friends and other women. Some of them are long-term friends, and some of them are women that I met recently that I really connected. And we decided to go out for a cup of tea, for a lunch, and chat about our lives, to get to know each other. These are the women who, just like me, are running their own businesses. Just like me, they are in the early autumn of their life. And I cannot tell you, it's been so deeply nourishing to my whole being. It's been absolutely lovely. And as always, when I do something like this, when I go away from my daily routine, from a daily to-do list, from my daily schedule, or when I step back like I did this August, something truly magical happens. I start getting a lot of inspiration flooding in from that field of consciousness that everything is recorded within. There are ideas, there are sparks of inspiration, there are little threads that I called energetic breadcrumbs that are taking me into a different space, different way of seeing things. And that happens not because it's magic, but because I shift into a different state of being. I shift from doing, from juggling lots of different things, spinning lots of different places, into that space of being, into that space of appreciating the beauty and sacredness of every single moment. And you might connect with it. You might resonate with what I'm saying, or you might not resonate with it. You might not have had experience of that simply because you've been too busy and spending too much time in a state of survival. Whatever your truth is, know that we can slowly, with baby steps, start changing it. Usually change doesn't happen as this one big event, something magical that really transforms how we are. Although that can happen as well. For majority of us, the change happens with baby steps, with every single decision that we make. And so as we are starting this episode today, I want you to take a moment to check in with yourself how you are right now. How has the summer been for you? Did you have an opportunity and allowed yourself to have more of that time appreciating the sacredness and the beauty of life? The moments where your brain just wanders, the moments where you just allow yourself not to focus too much on anything. Or maybe your summer has been busy because you've got kids, because you've got other obligations, because for many women, This time of the year is a very busy time where the kids are off school. Or maybe there are other things happening, like you've been taking care of your aging parents or a loved one that is unwell. So however you are, take a moment. Allow yourself to arrive in this present moment. It doesn't have to take hours. It can take few moments of simply checking in with yourself. How am I right now? What's going on for me? What's been happening in my life to reflect how I'm feeling right now? And then take a moment to be really kind to yourself, remembering that you're always doing the best that you can. Yes, it might not be amazing or perfect or the way that you want it to be, but you are always making the best that you can. And however you are, ask yourself, what is it that you need right now? If you've been listening to my show, you know that's something I talk a lot about. This is the foundation of all the work that we do in my trauma-informed somatic teacher and coach for women training certification. This can be a life-changing practice when we do it every day or even few times a day, not just when we are struggling and we want to find out what's really going on for us. So take a moment, check in with yourself, how you are, check in what it is that you need the most right now, and either give yourself permission to meet that need or make a promise to yourself that you will meet that need as soon as you can. Because sometimes we are doing stuff, it's not the right time. Like, for example, if you are working and what you need is downtime and rest and sleep, it might not be possible for you to go straight into sleep right now. But you can promise yourself, you can set the intention to give that to yourself when you get back home, having an early night, winding down, listening to some soothing music, giving yourself whatever it is that you need. So now that we've done this practice of arriving and checking in and setting the intention to meet our needs, I want to share in this episode with you a story, an experience that stayed with me for almost 30 years. It's a simple exercise I once did when I was in my early 20s, but the lessons from it continue to shape how I think about embodiment, about business, about the state of presence, and about feminine leadership. 30 years ago, I did a lot of training around NLP, around coaching, around health. And one of those trainings was the training called NLP Master Practitioner training. And within that training, we were asked to pair up with somebody, go outside and mirror each other's pace and way of working. So our pace, our rhythm, our energy. And I was paired with a man who was about 20 years older than me. He was very clearly a businessman running his own business and quite successful at that. We were in a central London. In fact, we were in a Polish center, which I loved very much because it had a Polish cafe. And during the lunch times, I always went and had some Polish food, which was a huge bonus for me. But we were also next to a park. And so we were told to go to the park and the streets nearby and do this exercise together. So I was the first one that led. And when I led, I wandered about. I walked slowly. I paused to sit on a bench. I enjoy the sunshine and the sun. And I remember turning my face towards the sun. My pace was very slow and hurried. I was enjoying the surroundings. I was enjoying the present moment. In contrast, when I was following my partner, it was a completely different experience. He was walking steadily forward with focus and determination. He walked from one side of the park, looked around, then walked to the other side of the park. He was working with a clear purpose. His rhythm and pace were steady, were focused, were determined. They weren't hurried, but they were very steady. What struck me the most was that both experiences were different, but they felt really good. And they were both needed, but for a different purpose. That exercise, as I said, stayed with me for 30 years. I still remember how it felt. I still see the images from my experience, because that exercise revealed something so important to me, so important in life and in business, that there are different ways of being in the moment, because the environment was the same, but we both experienced it and approached it in a different way. There were two different ways of being. There was the wandering and way of being very present in the moment, where we embodied qualities like curiosity and openness and spaciousness and receptivity and play and wonder and enjoying the present moment. And then there was the way of being that was more purposeful, more focused. And we were embodying qualities like clarity and direction and determination and steadiness and moving forward and knowing the place that we were going. Neither is better and neither is wrong, but both are essential. The wisdom is in recognizing which quality is needed when, in which context. If you are building a business or learning new skills, you need the more focused and purposeful way of moving forward, because that will serve you the best. And if you are resting, or you are integrating, or you are dreaming or reflecting or connecting with yourself or your loved ones, the wandering and present work is what's really needed here. And of course, 30 years ago, we didn't use the words like embodiment. Those words were not as popular as they are now. An embodiment simply means bringing fully certain qualities within our bodies. And that is through our posture, through our breath, through the pace and the rhythm, through the nervous system state, through our physiology. So the real question here is, what do you need to embody in this moment? What kind of embodiment would serve you and support you in the best possible way, within the context of the situation, within the context of what you are doing, and within the context of what's needed most? Some of the questions that might be useful might be, do I need to embody more presence, curiosity, openness, spaciousness? Or do I need to embody more of a sense of focus, determination, commitment? I'm not talking about hustle or striving here. I'm talking about just being focused on what you're doing, not scrolling through social media, not following shiny objects, not doing 1,000 things at the same time and multitasking. Another question might be, do I need to embody more curiosity, Do I need to embody more stability and holding? Do I need to embody more focus and commitment? Do I need to embody more flow and allowing things to unfold softly? These are the different qualities that we can embody that can truly serve the moment and the context of what we are doing. This is the approach that can really help us to notice what's happening within our nervous system and shift into a different way of being that impacts our physiology, that impacts our behaviors, the choices and actions that we are taking, that impacts the quality of our relationships. This is exactly the kind of stuff that we explore and learn within the 160-hour trauma-informed somatic teacher and coach for women training certification. We learn how to understand the nervous system and the nervous system states and how it impacts our physiology, how it impacts the way that we see ourselves, the way that we can read somebody else's presentation, whether it's a loved one, whether it's person that we meet on the street or in the shop, or whether it is our client. To really understand it in practical ways is absolutely amazing. We also learn and practice how to embody grounded presence, steady, consistent, curious, compassionate way of being, and how to be curious with others. That relational space within which our state of being acts as a co-regulation space for another. We also learn and practice how to embody clarity and direction and commitment when structuring and growing your own practice. And we also learn and practice how to soften into the flow, into curiosity and presence when holding space for healing and transformation, to act as a teacher, as a guide, and as a coach for another. Because this training certification is about weaving presence and purpose. It is about softness and strength. It is about presence and power. It is about acknowledging the beauty and sacredness of life and clear direction through the Soma, Psyche, and Soul, and within the context of life itself. So today I want to leave you with a few gentle questions for you to reflect on and play with. Where in your life and business are you being called to embody more softness, more state of being, more wandering, more connecting with a sense of presence and acknowledging the beauty and sacredness of life? And where are you being called to embody more focus and direction, more clarity and choice about your next steps, more moving forward in an aligned way? And what qualities are alive within your being right now? Are they the qualities that you need within the context of what you are doing? Or maybe something needs to change, something needs to shift. And the quickest way that you can do it is to really bring those qualities, the qualities that you want to embody, through the way that you walk. So next time you go for a walk, whether it is with your dog or your friend or your child, or whether you even go do some shopping, change the way that you walk and walk with the qualities that you want to embody. And notice how that shifts the way that you are, how it shifts the way that you engage with others in the world. I want to say thank you so much for being with me here today, for listening to this episode. And of course, if it resonates with you and you feel called to deepen your practice of embodiment, of trauma-informed coaching, somatic coaching, with focus on feminine leadership, I want to warmly invite you to explore our training certification, Trauma-Informed Somatic Teacher and Coach for Women. You can find all the details on my website, or you can reach out directly to me if you've got any questions and you want to check whether that certification is right for you. Our next cohort starts on the 3rd of October, 2025. And we already have a group of wonderful women who said yes to that training. Until next time, I want to invite you to look after yourself in the best way that you can, remembering that everything is built on the essence and foundation of that. Have fun exploring embodiment and take care for now.